What's up, you guys? It's your dark-skinned girl with a motive, Poko Rams, and welcome to the Melanin Motive, where we have candid conversations about navigating life as we know it in our 20s and in our 30s. What's up? What's good? What's popping? Your dark-skinned girl is back, and I'm happy to be back. Guys, oh my gosh, I'm happy to be here. I'm seeing this as really rejection therapy because I've been so scared to upload or to even put up a camera and to record. But you know what? I know that this dark-skinned girl has a motive, and her motive is to make the unseen feel seen, to make the underrepresented feel represented, because I know what it is and what it feels like to not see a representation of you, and not to, feel like you are seen by the people that are maybe even around you. And so if I can change that narrative, if I can change the tone in which we speak to each other and, honor each other and represent each other, I would love to be a part of that. And I'm not going to act like I have everything figured out. Earth, baby girl, is ghetto, too ghetto. And as much as we'd like to unsubscribe from this package, we are fully in my sister. And so in navigating this life thing, I don't want to act like I have it all figured together. I don't want to do it alone either. And so I'm welcoming you into the space, and I really hope that we can impart wisdom to one another. So let's get into what we are speaking about today. I want to speak about the fear of being perceived. And it's crazy because as I'm going through this phase of, coming back and doing this podcast, my one thing that has been a hurdle and something that also has been holding me back and giving me this imposter syndrome is how I am being perceived. How do people see me? And I think that sometimes holds us back. And I think it also goes really hand in hand with people pleasing. So anyway, I had a chat with a friend of mine. It's a new friend. She says to me, Poko, can I ask you a question? I said, girl, go for it. She says, do you feel like you are being yourself? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, no, like as we sat here around everybody else, do you feel like the same way you act in front of your friends is the same way you would act in front of us? Like, do they correlate? I'm like, girl, what do you mean? She was like, okay, let me cook. I'm not trying to be like your therapist or anything, but I kind of get the feeling that when you come to us, you're not really coming to us as yourself, as though you would be too much for us to handle, like for us though. So I'm sat there like, girl, what are you saying? And we continue to unpack it. And after I had that conversation with her, it made me realize how many rooms I've stepped in and how many times I've dimmed my light just to make someone else feel comfortable. And so obviously that day I walked in with my people pleaser switch on. Damn it, I forgot to switch it off. When she said that, it made me go back and actually sit down and reflect. Why do I actually do that? Why am I always doing this thing of, okay, because I'm a people pleaser and I like to make people feel more comfortable, I think that maybe if I just decrease my loudness, my, the demeanor and the thing and the essence of who Poko is, if maybe I just turn it down a little bit, maybe people will just accept me, just that part of me. And what I loved was that she just didn't understand why I was doing that. She was like, come as your full self. What do you mean? What do you mean we get to miss out on this girl? Why? And it actually just clicked to me that, Poko, you do this a lot, where you dim yourself to be in a space, where you dim yourself because you think that, okay, maybe I might be too much for these people. And I think that it's robbing me in areas of my life because I'm not showing up as my true self. And I think that the fear of being seen often stems from your deep-rooted anxiety about judgment and criticism from people. And, I think sometimes it can bring, feelings of feeling inadequate. It may also just, make you think and be very self-conscious of how you are being perceived or how you're being spoken about. And especially with someone like me who has anxiety, I like to control the narrative, I think another feeling that it brings on is the pressure to be always perfect. And I think that is something that has been kind of hard for me to navigate with because I know that I want to look like everything is perfect. But as is the Melanin Motive, I'm not going to act like I have it all figured together. It's not It's not perfect, guys. It really isn't. And so I think that it's really had an impact, a huge impact in my life, and it could have a huge impact on other people's lives because we are stopping ourselves, I don't know why, from being our fullest potential. Like our potential is not being potentiated because we keep like dumbing it down and playing down exactly who we are and what we stand for. And I think that it could have an impact on our daily lives and our career because, maybe in your careers, you maybe won't apply for that job because you don't think that you qualify. And now it's a missed opportunity. And you may not maybe advocate for yourself in a workspace. And now you're staying and then you're getting abused in your workspace. Or when you look at, for instance, like in your relationships, maybe you are guarding the real you because you're so scared that if you come as yourself, which is something that I had established, that if I come as myself, that maybe people won't actually like me. And so I just, play it down and I'm just like, hi. And I'm actually not like that. I'm not. I'll be like, what's up? What's good? You good? And now I'm here like being shy. For what? Like sometimes when I tell people like I'm shy, they're like, Poko. They're like, please, my sister, like, please be for real. I think in other areas such as your creativity and expression, especially as artists, maybe you don't share your voice. Like me, I wasn't sharing my voice because I was so scared of how I'm going to be perceived, but here I am. So, or like, not sharing your art with the world, not sharing your designs if you're a designer. And I think that it really, really just robs us from reaching and fulfilling our potential in this world and why we are in this world. We all have motives. It's all different, yeah, but like it's really important to your purpose and who you are as a person. And I think that we rob ourselves of that focusing on what the narrative is on the outside. You can't control what other people think. People will say all kinds of things. You are the only person that could understand the motive. You are the only person that can understand what's happening in the background, in the back scenes, And so it brings me to like a story that I read about this master, and he had like 3 servants, and he was like, yo guys, I'm going to Mauritius, I'm gonna be up outside. What I need you guys to do is to protect my things and to take care of my home, and I'm going to leave you guys with responsibilities. And so he had these 3 servants. He gave one servant about 5 bags of money and he said, take care of this money. He gave the second servant 2 bags of money. He said, take care of this money. He gave the third servant 1 bag of money. And then he was like, all right, my niggas, I'm out. He was out, he left, and these guys stayed behind taking care of their master's home. So the first servant who got 5 bags went ahead and he decided, I'm going to invest this money, I'm going to do this with this money, and he actually doubled the money, and so he got 5 times more. And then the second guy did the same thing, he invested the money, got more money back, and now he's got 4 more bags. The third servant said, nah, I only have 1 bag. Everybody else has been given so many bags. I don't want to lose this bag. What if I mess it up? I don't want to mess it up. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go and just hide it in here until the master comes back. So the master comes back and he's like, right guys, what did you guys do with the money? The first servant says, yo, so, you gave me 5 bags. I invested it, got 5 bags back. So I've got 10 bags. We up, we lick, we crock. The second one said, yo, I did the same. I put in my 2 bags into the investment. Listen, got more money back. We lit. Ooh. Then the third servant was like, well, here it is. So what I had done with it is that I kind of hid it because I didn't want to lose it. And I know how hard you've already worked for this 1 bag. So I didn't invest it. I just kept it because I didn't want to lose it. And so the master was like, my boy, nah. This is just not going to work out. Why? Because I have given you something, and the point of what you have been given is for you to extend and to multiply it. And so you hiding it is kind of crazy work to me. So how I saw the story was very much like, I've given you this gift and you haven't multiplied it. And this was actually from the Bible. This is Matthew 25, verse 14 to 30. It was basically saying that this is a representation of God's kingdom. He gives you something and you are meant to be multiplying it. He gives you a talent. He says, you know how to sing, go and sing. You know how to use your voice, go and use your voice. You know how to design, so go and use your designs. And that one servant hid what their talent was, hid what their gift was, and did not multiply the gift. And when you read Matthew 25, verse 29, the verse says, everyone who uses what they have will get more. They will have much more than they need, but people who do not use what they have will have everything taken away from them. And while I very much know that I've been in a stage in my life where everything was taken away from me. Why? Because I wasn't using my power. I was not using my gift. I was hiding it. I was like, okay, I know that I can impart wisdom, but I'm just going to put it right here. And the thing about that is that God is like, I've given you this talent, I've given you this gift, and you're not using it. Do you know how many other people would die to have the gift that you have? Would die to design the way that you can design? Would die to make a rap song just the way that you can do that? Who can beat the DJs of DJs? But when? I just can't. The fear of being seen, the feeling of being perceived, girl. Child, please. We are missing out on opportunities and things and places we could be because we are so engulfed in trying to control the narrative and trying to control the narrative about other people that really just don't care. People are out there living their lives, guys. They have the audacity to go out there and to pursue their dreams. But you're sat there worried about people, worried about their narratives, worried about how they perceive you. And as you can see in the word of God, it says everything will be taken away from you. And I'm an example of that, guys. When I was not operating in my power, everything was taken away from me. And I'll go into it more in another episode, but I really feel like we are holding ourselves back, not operating in our full potential because of how we are being perceived. It's okay not to have control over the narrative. You know what you meant. And I know, especially in a society where people are always being cancelled and stuff, you're like, you know what? Actually, I would rather guard my peace. I get it, guys. We really should be guarding our peace, but there is a fine line between guarding your peace and protecting your peace and hiding from your potential. You can't hide from your potential. Guys, we've got actually to do on this earth. And we are sat there acting like we don't have it, acting like we don't have the talent, acting like I don't know how to play the piano, acting like I don't have a voice, acting like I shouldn't be starting this podcast. Like, what is happening? Shit. Why are we doing this to ourselves? And so actually, because I'm like, there are so many things in this world that we are not giving of ourselves because of a narrative. We're meant to be sharing these gifts. We're not meant to be keeping it to ourselves. You can't keep your gifts to yourselves. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. You've been put onto this earth for a reason. You have a purpose on this earth. Don't let fear be the reason why you're not fulfilling your dream, why you're not fulfilling the mandate, why you're not fulfilling what you're meant to be pursuing and doing on this earth. Everybody has a role to play. Everybody serves something in this bigger collective. You might be thinking that, I just do yoga for people, and no. Whereas you're actually helping someone who has back pains get better. Health is such a big thing. Or maybe with what you've been through with your music, you are telling a story and someone else feels inspired by your music. But you're holding that back and you're not sharing it with the world and you're not starting your podcast and you're sat there watching every single one get the dreams that you wanted, but you have the talent. No. We need to stop it, guys. Like, I really need us to stop disguising fear for self-care because it is not taking care of ourselves, because we are not actually fulfilling and reaching our fullest potential. We are here to serve on this earth. It is not just about us. Your purpose and your gift serves more than just you. You're not just rapping for yourself. No. It's a bigger collective. You're serving someone else, and that's why you are here. It's not supposed to feel like a job. It's not supposed to feel like it's supposed to be heavy. This is something that has been given to you freely, but you're not using it. No, we're not doing that anymore. And so we've got tips to help us overcome this fear of being perceived. And the first thing is to really radically accept who you are. You have to understand and go back to the drawing board and look at, what does Poko like? What does she tolerate? What will she not tolerate? How does she move forward in this? If you understand in the essence of who you are, how you stand and how you present yourself, no one else can come and, move you from where you stand, because you're standing on business. You're standing. You know who you are. You know who you are. So operate in your essence. Start with really recognizing who you are, who God says you are. There are affirmations, there are things that are there for you. So use affirmations every day. Start your day with affirmations so that you can feel empowered. Tip number 2 is to really challenge your inner critic. I'm someone who really just has mind gymnastics. My mind keeps racing. I am such an overthinker. But I know this is something that I have to pray away because it has hindered me because I see myself differently. Like, there's been so many instances where people have said, "Oh, Poko, this is such good work." And I'm like, are they conspiring against me? Why are they saying this? They're probably lying. It's not a joke. It is real. We see potential in you. We can see your hard work. Why do you think that everybody is lying? This is where you need to really challenge that inner critic and really say, okay, every time I have those negative thoughts that come into my head, I'm going to write it down. And then maybe I can counter what that negative thought is with something that is positive so that I can move on from it. The third thing is to shift your focus from the external validation to internal fulfillment. Recognize what it is that you are doing. Make sure that it's not for other people, but for you and what serves you. That, for example, I'm doing the Melanin Motive. I know that it serves as a bigger part in this world than it does for me. I would love to impart wisdom onto other people. My validation doesn't come from being accepted from everybody. No, I will find my community. I will find my niche and my people. But also at the end of the day, it brings me fulfillment if I'm passing on wisdom that I have and how I've been navigating through this life thing. And I don't want to do it alone. And that's why I've invited you to come through. And so you look at it in your perspective, in your purpose. What is it that I can do to shift my focus and not make it about how other people will validate me on the outside, but really recognize, why are you doing it? What is actually your motive? Number 4 is desensitize yourself from being seen. Start small. Really take time in honoring what your purpose is and move slowly into it. You don't have to rush. You don't have to be going to go and speak to, a group of 50,000 people. Maybe just speak in front of 2 people, 3 people, and keep increasing that so that you desensitize yourself from, oh my gosh, this feeling and this fear of being seen. Number 5 is to curate a support system that is positive. Really invest in your community. Guys, if I didn't have the people around me, I don't think I would be here today. I've had friends, because of how much they believed in me, buy me equipment so that I can do this podcast. Buy me equipment so that I can do what I'm meant to be doing. And so I'm so grateful to my friends. Really, really invest in your community. Have people around you that are going to encourage you, will make you feel better about what you are doing, and also not to dim your light around those people, because I know that sometimes we are in spaces with people that will really try to make you feel this small. And you don't need that in your life. That means you must cut it. Cut the whole thing off. We don't need people like that in our lives, especially when we have a purpose in this world. Point number 6, embrace your vulnerability as a strength. Guys, me being here in front of you is not easy. But I also see that there is so much power in me being vulnerable, in me offering that vulnerability to everyone else. Because why? I'm building a connection and I'm trying to make you see that you're not going through it alone. Because if you see your vulnerability as your power and your strength, imagine how many spaces you could infiltrate. So I want to leave you guys with a quote that I find really, really powerful. And I don't know, Nelson Mandela was spitting bars with this, but I really hope that you take this with you. And this is how it reads. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is already within us. From now on, I want us to stop and to really step into the essence of who we really are. We're here to change the world. And I don't want us to act like we don't know that. Stop pretending that that you are the best in the game. Stop pretending like you are not the best player on the field. It has nothing to do with people on the outside. It has nothing to do with what they're doing and how their narratives are going. It is about you, your talent and your gift, and how you serve this world. So from now on, I'm no more dimming my light. I'm no more coming here and acting like, oh my gosh, I'm just this just average babe. I'm not an average babe. This is quality over here. Look at the material, girls. And I really hope that you can see the material in yourself as well. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Please do share it with everyone you know, and I will see you guys next week. Mwah! Thank you for joining me.